everyone. So I felt after watching the videos of the two counselors, I felt like they were pretty typical of what I expected um, to see in a counseling session. Mainly for the first reason being that they both really just seemed like a conversation. It seemed like they, really flowed, and it didn't feel like this like choppy interview style kind of conversation. I think sometimes people, think counseling is so intimidating because you're going to be asked all these questions about how you feel, and you're going to have to, be under all this pressure. Whereas, like, I don't really think that that's what it is in most cases. Can it be uncomfortable? Some of the thought processes and some of the experiences in counseling can be uncomfortable when you're discovering stuff about yourself. But I felt like in both of these scenarios, the conversations flowed well, and I think that's important in order to make people feel comfortable. When it just feels like a conversation, there's just trust that's built a lot easier. And I also felt like the counselors gave, a lot of opportunity for the client to talk. Sometimes I think there's also this misconception that, you're going to sit down in counseling and clients are going to just be given the answers. Counselors are just going to tell them what they need to do, how they need to fix their problems, and it's, all up to them. And the client just sits there and listens and learns what they have to do. But it's quite the opposite. I think the counselor needs to do a lot of listening to learn about the client so that they can come up with, ways to help them. And I think that they did a really good job of that. The client would ask, or the counselor would ask, an open-ended question and just get more feedback. And you could tell that the clients were getting more and more comfortable talking. And those questions just continued to build on each other. In the textbook, it talked a lot about warm attitude, and I thought that that was like such a simple way of putting it. Like, it's really important to meet clients with warmth. I think warmth symbolizes acceptance and just trustworthiness. In the book, it talked about how people will open up when they feel that warmth. And that's what you need your clients to do, is to be able to feel like they can trust you to open up. And obviously a big one being empathy. Specifically the counselor, Michael, I feel like he really did a good job of being empathetic. There was a lot of times where you could see him really trying to put himself in the client's shoes. He would say things kind of like, so what I'm seeing is that this makes you uncomfortable. Or, when you say this, I can tell that you, are upset. So I feel like that's something that is really important. And I also feel like, overall, he just created a like calming environment. His tone, his attitude, everything just made it seem like, he was trustworthy. And I think that that is like one of the most important parts. He also really challenged her to be the one to take steps. I feel like he helped her help herself. So kind of what I mean by that is when she was talking about, being unsure about suggesting plans for what to do with her friends, she said that that kind of made her uncomfortable. And he challenged her to set that goal, like, I want you next week before our next session to be the one to suggest, that your friend come with you to do something. And then he kind of said, so what are you going to suggest? What is something you want to do that you're, maybe you'll do by yourself, and then you'll ask a friend to come with you. So he set her up for that success, but then made her, make the decision of what she's going to do. And even then, still being empathetic, he said, I can see like this is making you anxious talking about this, acknowledging her feelings. In an article I read by Fillion and other authors, they talked a lot about how goal setting in any kind of counseling is really important when you're trying to measure progress. So I think that's kind of what Michael was trying to do. Like, let's set a goal that next time, there's something you want to do, you're going to ask your friends to go with you. You're not just going to do what they want to do. So I think that overall he did a really good job.